Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Here's the White Light expansion for Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. It's all going to be centered around the White Ranger. What we're going to have here is 2 Dockyard, which gives you a 5 until Panic, a Power Plant until 6. You'll flip this over at the start of each battle. You're going to drain 1 of the energy that you will have there. And at the Power Plant, at the start of each battle, you gain an energy. So this is probably the easier one to play with because it has a higher one and a positive. This has a lower number. Less people can go there, but it will give you a negative. So the first thing we will have here is you will see Lord Zedd. And here is the miniature. This would be the bad guy that you would get with it. Mine is painted up. Yours will come unpainted. But this is what you can kind of expect to see in the size of what you will get. Lord Zedd is a very impressive miniature here. Very large and very detailed. You can see it looks kind of cool all painted up. Now for his cards, you will have a boss card that you will get. Mine are sleeves, so that's what, a little bit of glare here. You can see 5 4s. There's a 7 in there, so that's very, very high. Let's take a look at some of the things he does. He has a guard. That means you cannot attack the adjacent ones until you beat this one. Deal 5 damage to a ranger. You must discard 3 cards off the top of your deck. That can be particularly brutal. Deal 12 damage divided among the rangers. The 7s deal damage to each ranger equal to the number of cards in their hand. So earlier, it's the fast. It's going to come out earlier. It's going to be particularly brutal. 1 ranger must discard the top 3, deal 5. While this card's in play, each time a ranger plays a card with an energy cost greater than 0, deal 2 damage to the ranger after the card resolves. So he can be a little bit brutal. That 12 can be very, very damaging. Then what you're going to have is the Z Putties that will come out. You will see these guys right here with these cards as they come. Lots of 2s and 3s. These aren't the strongest people in the world, but they do some damage to you. So deal 4 damage. Deal 2 damage and skip the next ranger turn. And that can be very brutal, and that's a fast. So even though it's only 2 health, you got to focus on it pretty quickly. Drain 2 crystals. Those cards in play. Each time Putty is defeated, you deal 2 damage. Deal 2 damage and skip. Deal 4, drain 2. And you can see those over and over again. But this guy, while he can be easy to beat, can be brutal down here to you. Now, what you're also going to get is you're going to get Tommy Oliver, who's the White Ranger. He's very defensive. So when any ranger reveals a card for defense, you may add 1 to that. So anytime anybody has to be defend, you come in as your defensive savior and add a shield to it. So you can be a very good team player here. Here's the miniature of the White Ranger that you will get. Once again, this one is all painted up. Yours will not be painted unless you choose to paint it. You can see his sword is right there, and he is ready to strike, and he is the focus of this expansion, if you will. Now, you're going to get a deck of cards with him, and you can see here that there are a lot of 0s in here, 1s, 2s, and a 3. So there's some easier costs in here. Let's take a look at his 3 card. Attack with 5 dice. Wow. You may divide this hits among any number of targets. One of the most powerful cards in the game. Attack with 2. After resolve, you may spend a crystal to allow another ranger to immediately play a card with an energy cost of 0. Flash Kick is a reaction. So you play this to another card. At start of the battle to roll 2 dice and do that much damage to any enemy card of your choice. I like this guy quite a bit. Attack with 3 dice. If you roll any misses during the attack, return this card to your hand instead of discarding it. So that's pretty cool. So I like the White Ranger quite a bit. Now you're also going to get Alpha 5 in this set. He's this little small robot. Now he can be played as a character. One of the people at the table can play as him, or you can utilize him as a support. Now, he comes unpainted, so this is what I decided to make mine look like. But let's take a look at his cards. Now, I'll go over the rules in a second of him, but I just want to show you some of his cards. 0s, 1s, and 3s. So notice 2. He's got a teleport with some maneuver. Move 1 ranger from another location to this location. Reaction, play this card when another ranger plays a card to allow that ranger to return the card to their hand. Play this card before another ranger performs an attack to add 2 dice. Gain 3 crystals. A ranger of choice may drop the 2 cards and immediately play a card. So these are going to be support character. Alpha 5 is going to be a very, very big support character. Now with him, you are going to get a rule set that will come with it that will explain how to use it if you just want to use him as a support or if somebody wants to play as him. Very easy if you want to play as him, then you can do so. You just shuffle his deck together and start a hand like everybody else. If you want to use him as a support, then shuffle the Alpha 5 deck and place it. During the game, you can interact with him as specified by his character card. So then you would look at this. So this is how you would be if you were playing as him. You can't move the command center. You can't be in battle. But regardless of where the reaction is, you're part of that battle. So that can be a very good card. When you for the recover action, you can allow somebody else. A very good support character if you're playing as him. Now, if he is just a supportive NPC for you, you would use this side. When any ranger performs a recover action, he may choose to recover 2 fewer to draw cards from his deck. Now, when you utilize those cards and use them, they would go back into Alpha 5's decks. They're kind of a use once. You can get them back by doing this power and giving up your own draws to get his cards, but just know that they're going to be in your deck for a play once, then they would go back to him. So these are the 2 cards that would kind of be used for him to explain the rules. Now, with the White Ranger, you're also going to get a new Megazord card. So here is the White Tiger Zord. Exhaust this card when any ranger performs a maneuver to allow another ranger to immediately play 1 card with an injury card of 0. And this will be in the deck. You can use it for the Megazord. So that's what you're going to get. Now, the majority of this is centered around the White Ranger. I think you get a lot of value here. You're getting 2 extra ones of this. You're getting the Z Putties. You're getting the Foot Soldiers. I like playing with Alpha 5. I think him is so interesting to add. When I'm playing a 2-player game, I like to add him in with my son. I really like to utilize him as kind of a dummy player, if you will, that would kind of join our team. The White Ranger is actually very powerful. I like him as a defensive ranger. I like to add him in. So this one, you still get the 1 boss. You don't get a monster to add in. You're going to get Lord Zedd. You're going to get an NPC that you can play as or add to your team as an NPC. And you get the White Ranger and a Foot Soldier. So I like this set a little bit better than the green set. The white set is one of my favorite ones. I like what it adds. I really like these 2 characters quite a bit. This is a good boss, and I like the Z Putties. So this is a win for me. 2 thumbs up, and one I'd recommend you adding in as quickly as possible. Absolute A+. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.